We are talking with Kevin Leandro, who is an elected budget committee member here in Guilford, and I want to say thank you very much for taking a few minutes with Granite Rock, Kevin.
Problem's good.
Now, it's my understanding that earlier this week you were down in Concord at the Legislative Office Building, where you testified on behalf of HB1279, which is a bill relative to who can vote on an SB2 budget committee. And in effect, what that bill does, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it makes the selectman representative and the school board representative to that budget committee non-voting. Can you talk to that, and can you tell us what you told the committee?
That's correct, but also village district representatives, such as water districts. My take on the law was, although some of these members are actually elected here in Guilford, we have a water district member that's not elected by anybody. He's appointed by the commissioners of the water district. But nobody elects a school board representative thinking that they're gonna how they're gonna vote on a fire truck issue, or nobody elects a selectman thinking how he's gonna vote on a teacher's contract, because the two ain't related. And if you read the law, it's so broad, it gives actual limitations on the membership of at-large members, elected members. Sometimes they're appointed, but regular members, there is limitations, and it's based on conflict of interest type limitations. It can't be a member of the fire department, it can't be an employee of the school district, can't be a full-time employee of the town, those such things. Where there is no such restrictions on representative members. So when you look at that, you can interpret it as they were never intended to be voting members, and it doesn't define their role. It doesn't define them as advisory only. My own interpretation is that they're there to advocate for their own budgets. They're there to answer questions in an advisory role. They're not voting members.
But here in Guilford, and by the reps this year own admission, they are there to support the selectmen's budget, and consistently they voted for the budget, for any increase, and voted against any decreases, because the budget is what the budget is, and that's what that person had to do. And the same thing with the school department representative, or the school board representative, which basically gives them a bite twice at the apple, correct?
That's correct. I have less of a problem with the way the selectmen do it here in town. He's voting the majority view of the selectmen. He's actually representing the board of selectmen, and I don't know if you noticed, Skip, but he didn't vote on any school board issues. Where the rep from the school board voted on everything, right down to cemetery, and I really don't know what the official position of the school board is on cemetery issues, but they really shouldn't be voting on that. That's not what she was elected for. And the same thing with the, we have that minute little budget for the Gunstock Acres Water District, and that gentleman voted on everything, participated in everything right down to subcommittees, which I thought was irregular and inappropriate as well.
So what does this new bill basically do to the construction of the budget committee, or the responsibilities?
Well, it really is just a laundry bill. It cleans up the language. It gives it more definition, because it's being interpreted different ways throughout the state. And it's going to give one interpretation, and that is that these representative members, whether it be from the Board of Selectmen, the school district, the water districts, the village districts, they are there in an advisory capacity only. They're there to advocate for the budgets that they represent. They are not voting members. The voting members would be the 9 or 12, depending on what town you're in, elected budget committee members.
Now, the House bill certainly had its committee hearing. Was there anything in particular that you told the committee when you testified this week?
I told them basically what I just told you, and I wasn't too happy with the way the representatives that presented that, and Mr. Warden wasn't there, and I was a little disappointed that he had to be at another hearing, because they present it more on a level of Goffstown, the problems with Goffstown, and I seen the comment was made, well, if this is a local issue, why are we applying a state solution? And it's not a local issue. It's happening all over the state. We see it right here in Guilford. I've heard about it in Holderness. I've heard from people all over the state that this is a problem. It's a loophole that's being taken advantage of, and all we're doing is cleaning up the language and defining the law.
Okay. Well, I want to say thank you very much for taking a few minutes with Granite Rock, Kevin, and for full disclosure for the watchers of this video, I too have been a voting member of the Guilford Budget Committee. However,
A good one.
However, my term is now over at this point, but I do share the same sentiments that you do as well, Kevin. So again, thank you very much.
Crop TV.